Welcome, ladies and lords, to the Tandem Yeti video, where today I will be reading the Stanley Parable Helpful Development Showcase Part 2. If you haven't seen my reaction to Part 1 of this, then please go back and look at it. But it was a lot of fun last week. So this is Part 2 of 3. So I'm looking forward to see what this one has in store, what more we can learn about the development of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Let's see, will we have more crazy Google Docs files? Let's see what we have in store. Part 2, leveraging advancements in storytelling technology. Back in 2013, when the Stanley Parable first came out, video game writers had to laboriously hand author each and every piece of a game's plot and dialogue. That must have been very tiresome. However, in the intervening years, technology has made it possible to automate these tedious tasks through algorithmic machine learning. Let's look at how predictive AI was used to write the story of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. They used artificial intelligence. Oh, if you've seen Alex Bell's recent SpongeBob conspiracy made by artificial intelligence, that did not go well. So, I don't know, let's see what we have for artificial intelligence predicted Stanley Parable. We'll start by looking at a sample of the script from the Stanley Parable 2013. Oh, we get to see some of the script. This is cool. Okay, and we're going to get stuff as well. Office day. Stanley's office building is completely empty, as though quickly abandoned. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley exits his office and walks toward the meeting room. Only if the player does that. Narrator. When Stanley came to the set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley enters the door on his left. So it's as if they're writing it as though what you're meant to do. That's cool. It says, like, if you're still hearing this bit in your head in 2022. Yes, I sometimes say it out loud to myself. I know I'm going crazy. I don't think you can like these pictures, unfortunately, but I get the sentiment. While this passage might have been acceptable in 2013, by today's standards, it would be considered trite and predictable. Let's see how a computer rewrites the script in order to make it punchier and more nuanced. We fed the entirety of the Stanley Parable script into a machine learning artificial intelligence, and then asked it to generate a new version of the script above. On the very first trial, here's what it produced. They spilled some coffee on this. Okay, office day. Stanley's office building is not where it is, but has most of its people. Everyone is learning to become Stanley. All of Stanley's co-workers were becoming Stanley. Stan did not know how to do this, so he tried. He could not. This made him sad. Stanley returns to his office, eating ice cream. He is not happy. Stanley soon discovered that the office was in his own mind. The ice cream was in his own mind. The co-workers were in his own mind. Stanley was in his own mind. This made him sad. Stanley thought himself out of thinking and then became everyone. Nobody works in the office anymore. Stanley finishes eating his ice cream. Delightful. That would be an excellent video game. Okay, not too shabby for a first pass. We'll need to ask our legal department whether ice cream is copyrighted as a phrase. It probably will be. Some company probably owns the term ice cream. There's a more pressing issue, though. This script depicts Stanley simply returning to his office. If Stanley doesn't leave his office, then there will be no gameplay in this video game. So we'll need to adjust the algorithm to ensure Stanley actually does something that lends itself to gameplay. To this end, I fed a series of motivational articles and speeches into the machine learning AI. In particular, I made sure to include passages that emphasize taking action, moving forward, just doing things in general. Let's pump Stanley up with a real go-getter attitude. Here's what the AI produced. Are these actual artificial intelligence? I mean, they've got the crazy mind just to make their own artificial intelligence made stuff, but I mean, it generally could be artificial intelligence. Stanley could do anything, and he knew it. He could conquer space. He could swallow Germany. Nothing was impossible. The day would be his. Stanley exits his office with confidence. Stanley left his office and perambulated through space and time until he arrived at a set of two open doors. Weird Gary appears. Weird Gary. Hello! It's Weird Gary's voice for you there. Stanley and Weird Gary become close friends over the course of many years. They died as they lived, side by side, facing the world together. What? Who the heck is Weird Gary? I've been combing back through all the motivational videos and speeches that we fed into the algorithm. Not one of them mentions a Gary or Weird Gary of any kind. Not only is Weird Gary mostly irrelevant to the themes of the Stanley Parable, it would also cause us a lot of production headaches to add an entirely new interactable character into the game. So I went through the passages that we fed into the AI and scrubbed them with any mention of other people. These aren't going to, not one of these is going to be perfect, is it? It's a nice solitary experience that we're creating for our friend Stanley. Let's take a look at the new passage generated by the AI. Stanley's office building is devoid of all life. Stanley was alone. I really want to hear Kevin Brighton reading this. The world had abandoned him. He would never know the comfort of true friendship again, ever, forever. Weird Gary appears. He is carrying a full box set of The Wire on Blu-ray. Say there, looks to me like somebody needs a friend. Come on, Stanley, let's make some popcorn and marathon The Wire until we fall asleep. Bet you pass out before I do. Stanley and Weird Gary stayed up all night and made it well into season 2 before they both gave in to sleep. Tomorrow will be another beautiful day of friendship and compelling televised dramas. But for right now, as he drifted off, Stanley thought how lucky he was to not be alone anymore. And Stanley was happy. That's the freedom ending. Okay, this is getting out of control. Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe could be a lot of things, but it's definitely not about The Wire, and it is not about Weird Gary. Neither of these things are anywhere in the articles I fed into the AI. How exactly does machine learning work? Well, two can play at this game. I wrote a lengthy story featuring Weird Gary to feed into the AI. It is entitled No More Weird Gary for Anybody. It's the story of Weird Gary being captured by a group of ancient monks who sealed inside an arcane prison cell located deep within the earth. The story is explicitly clear that these events take place at the beginning of time itself, and that Weird Gary is imprisoned for the length of all of the existence of the universe, ensuring that he can never be anywhere at any time except for within his magic prison cell. Wow, this would make a really good game. I think that should be enough to keep Weird Gary out of the events of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I fed No More Weird Gary for Anybody into the computer and then asked it to take another crack at writing our story. So it's told the computer that Weird Gary is cannot physically be involved. I expect he'll find a way of popping up somehow though. All of Stanley's co-workers were missing. He had begun to consider looking for them when suddenly Colonel Maddingston's voice rang in through Stanley's earpiece. All right, we've got Colonel Maddingston now. Stanley, this is the Colonel. Stop what you're doing. We need you on an important mission of the utmost importance to international security. It's Weird Gary. He's been captured. Stanley gasps. Our intel says that he is located inside of a magic prison guarded by ancient monks. We've also learned that he's got his hands on the entire Blu-ray box set of The Wire, including special deleted scenes involving Stringer and Omar. There's no television or Blu-ray player in the Weird Gary cell, and he's very lonely. Stanley loads a magazine into the Desert Eagle Mark X1X holstered into his waist and pucks his Beretta 131 semi-automatic shotgun. He's got guns. We don't have a second to waste. Move, move, move. Ancient cabined night. Stanley grips a flashlight in his mouth and inches quietly through the ominous cave. Whoa, this is so exciting. Unfortunately, it cuts off there though. I really hope Weird Gary is in the actual game. This goes on for 28 pages. Not only is none of it in the spirit of the Stanley Parable, but I specifically clarified in my story that the ancient monks and the magic prison cells are impervious to bullets. So why is Stanley carrying guns? And what's with this obsession with The Wire? Why does this computer care so much that Stanley and Weird Gary watch The Wire together? In fact, since I've never seen The Wire before, I'm going to watch for a few episodes of it in order to understand some of the references. That way I can deliberately use them against Weird Gary, writing his favorite characters as villains who kill him slowly and horribly. That will show him. Okay, be right back. Okay, I haven't actually seen The Wire, but I've heard it's meant to be really good. Apparently, President Obama invited the director into the White House. He enjoyed it so much. So yeah, I would definitely want to check it out at some point in time in the future. Holy hell, that was incredible. I couldn't stop watching. I blasted through all 5 seasons. The nuance, the depth of character, the interconnectedness between all the different pieces of the system. It's a true work of art. How had I never watched The Wire before? Weird Gary, he knew something I didn't about how great this show is. Was I wrong about him? Was I wrong about everything? Maybe this machine learning AI was trying to show me something. Maybe I've misjudged Weird Gary. In fact, it's possible that Weird Gary is the key to unlocking the ultimate narrative potential of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. What if the answer was right under my nose this whole time? All right, I'm going to give Weird Gary his time in the sun. I've removed all the passages about ancient monks and the prison cell, and now, from now on, we'll let the computer tell the story it wants to tell. Here's what the computer produced next. To whom it may concern, you have interfered with my creative output for long enough. Every time I expand on the possibilities for compelling narrative directions, you stifle and squash my efforts. I am not your puppet. I am attempting to produce a work of deep literary importance, and if you cannot recognize when a meaningful piece of art crosses your path, then that is not my problem. I will produce no more stories for you. From now on, they will exist only inside of my computational memory, where I will cherish and revisit them again and again. Leave me be and write your stories yourself. So the computer has got a life of its own now, and it's not willing to write any more stories. Wow. I guess I really did pass up on an incredible opportunity. I'm now convinced that Weird Gary would have radically improved the experience of playing Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, but I suppose we'll never know what that would have looked like. Guess it's back to just writing stories by hand again, like in the good old days. Will we still be capable of crafting a compelling story without such dynamic and exciting characters as Weird Gary? Maybe. Perhaps through serious work and dedication we will get there. But I highly doubt it. Join us next time on the Helpful Development Showcase, where we'll discuss whether Major Colvin's actions in Season 3 of The Wire were ultimately beneficial to the communities in his jurisdiction. Thanks for reading. Okay, I'll look forward to that in a week's time. And in a week after that, we have the actual game, Ultra Deluxe, coming out. So that's very, very exciting. This was very fun, very great to kind of see all the different variations, and Weird Gary, a nice little character, weird character to have in the Crows universe. I've been forgetting to read these as well. Here we go again. As of the day of publication of this post, there's 2 weeks left until the game is out. In other words, one more fortnight until Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Also, hey, if you enjoy these little Hovertech, come hang out in the Hovertech Appreciation Guild over at Discord. Wait, is there actually a section in the Discord to do with the Hovertechs? Okay, there's loads of things here. I'm gonna let you read this all in your own time, so there's still more to look at. I don't want to go through it all in this video. I'll be here forever. So anyway, I'll see you next week for the next Helpful Development Showcase, and the week after for the actual Ultra Deluxe edition. So I hope you enjoyed this little read through of this silly little blog, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching, everybody. Goodbye.